Hello everyone, welcome back to YK Reviews. As we continue the installments of the Halloween franchise, we get to the next installment called Halloween Resurrection, the sequel to Halloween H2O, so let's get into it. So with Halloween Resurrection, it's the sequel to Halloween H2O. You find out how Michael escapes, and this was a rough watch. I'm just gonna say that right now. Like, the decisions that they made, the plot that they went with, it was so bad. So let's just get started with the review, because you've got the opening sequences here. Loree is now in like a mental asylum institution, where she thought she has finally killed Michael, only to find out that how Michael escaped was in the previous movie. An EMT worker actually arrived at the scene earlier. Michael managed to switch places with him, crushing his throat so that he couldn't speak, and Michael ends up going into the woods, and so that the person that Loree killed in the previous movie by chopping his head off was actually just an EMT worker. And I kind of like that explanation. I thought that was a really creative way of how Michael did escape. It is something that can happen, but then what they do for the plot afterwards, you create a nice setup, a nice good way of how Michael escapes, but then what you do for the rest of the movie just ruins that whole explanation, basically, because that's Loree in the mental institution there. You see these nurses giving her these pills, but Laurie's just sort of pretending to take these pills, only to end up putting it in her doll. And so she's been there for 3 years basically, and on this night we see Michael Myers actually coming to confront her basically. But with Loree, she was waiting for this. She had the trap set up. Michael Myers was able to just get past security so easily, and so then Michael goes crashing again through the door because he hates doors. Comes to find out Loree's not in her room. She's actually set up a trap in the rooftop in the ceiling. And so you have this sequence where Michael ends up with his legs tangled. He's upside down, and Loree can go and kill him off, but because of what happened in the previous movie, Loree wants to make sure that it's actually Michael Myers. So she's he's hanging there, she's going to try and unmask him, but then Michael ends up catching her, and it just leads to this weird sequence now of Michael stabbing her in the back, her holding to Michael, saying,
I'll see you in hell.
Really? I know basically Jamie Lee Curtis did not want to be in this movie, but obviously money talks, and this was her decision to just get killed off in the first part of the movie so that she doesn't have to be in the movie, and I respect that decision. But the choices that they made to have her kiss Michael and all that stuff, like I said, I don't blame her for not wanting to be in this movie, because this was a train wreck. Because now that Laurie Strode is dead, we come to find out the plot of the movie in itself. So you've got these two characters, Busta Rhymes and Tyra Banks. They are making a reality TV show. So they've accepted these college students to be part of this reality TV show. This is around the time when webcams were a big thing, so that they're going to be recording inside Michael Myers' house as a reality TV show. And basically their job is to find out why Michael did what he did, find bits and clues. But then we come to find out that everything was just staged. And so then you're in Michael Myers' house with webcams on a reality show. And so you see Michael Myers is actually at the house. He ends up killing one of the workers. And I love how Loree's still in California. So Michael Myers has either went all the way back, because it's been 3 years since the previous movie. So he either drove all the way to Chicago, drove all the way back to kill Loree, and now drove all the way back to Chicago to go back to his house. There has to be a TV show or a spin-off movie of Michael Myers as a road trip, seeing what he goes up to since of that timeline. But he ends up killing one of the workers from this reality TV show. And so then as the movie's progressing, you get them exploring the house, finding bits and pieces. They're there's this one character who's like I believe he's in a different state. He's having this Halloween party here, but he's also watching the footage and stuff, and so he's like sort of like a character that helps these other characters out, since he's watching the webcam and that kind of stuff, and they're seeing what's going on in the reality show. But we'll get to that part there. So like these people, as I mentioned, they come to find out that everything is staged, all these props and stuff are like not real. And then you find out, for like, one of the characters finds all these like dead rats and stuff. So apparently Michael Myers has come back home and he's eating these rats to survive, basically. And then you have Busta Rhymes dressing up as Michael Myers, and this scene of him, because like Busta Rhymes' character arc is that he watches kung fu movies, so he knows kung fu. So remember that as we get to the end of the movie. So he now goes and dressed up as Michael Myers, and he comes face to face with the real Michael Myers, thinking it's one of the workers there. And it's just like this stupid sequence of like Michael Myers being berated by Busta Rhymes there. But then like as the movie's progressing, Michael Myers is ending up like on a killing spree. He's beheading one character, killing another character, crushing the head of a different character. So then you've got, as he's killing these people off one by one, you've got like the main female lead, who's called Sarah. She's one of the college students that was exploring the house. You've got Busta Rhymes there. Busta Rhymes, before all the kills happen, is telling them like to just, there's money involved, to just pretend all of this kind of stuff is going on. And so then as the movie's progressing, everybody's getting killed off. So then you've got Busta Rhymes and Sarah like trying to avoid Michael Myers, and that character in that other state is like watching this, texting Sarah to see where Michael Myers is. So then you get to like the third act. Like, I know I've skimmed through a lot of like the plot, because honestly the plot in itself just is pretty stupid. I'm just going by step. I just feel like I'm going to be losing brain cells if I go through every single character and like what they bring to the table and all that kind of stuff, because they get killed off by Michael Myers. Because then you get to like the third act, and with the third act you have Sarah and Busta Rhymes trying to escape from Michael and Busta Rhymes having a fight, and you've got Busta Rhymes kung fuing Michael. Why is he kung fuing Michael Myers? Like, this is similar to that scene from The Seed of Chucky, with that whole kung fu sequence with Chucky versus Glenn/Glenda. You've got, but this I feel like it's even worse, because it's real human beings trying to kung fu karate kick a slasher icon. And that's not even the worst part either. Like, Michael Myers comes back and tries to get Sarah. Sarah uses a chainsaw to start a fire in the house, and Busta Rhymes electrocutes Michael's balls. I don't know what's worse, kung fuing Michael or electrocuting his balls. So Michael Myers is like tangled here, and I even forgot to mention Busta Rhymes' saying, that famous saying he has, the memes of it, of
trick or treat, motherfucker.
So Michael is basically electrocuted and is burnt up in the fire. Busta Rhymes and Sarah escaping, and there's no real character like arc with either of them, to be honest with you. Like, yeah, they survived. She's thankful from that guy texting her how to escape, and sort of at the end we find out that Michael Myers is actually alive, because they open up the corpse and you see Michael Myers' eyes open. And in terms of the mask in itself, it's an improvement to the H2O mask, but it's still not a great looking mask, to be honest with you. The eye holes, like, there's a different actor playing it there, so it's like more intimidating, but the eye holes is just still too wide for me. The mask is still not that great, but I mean, the mask is like the least of the problems for me. The whole movie in itself, like, as I mentioned in the previous video, this is a great timeline. Like, Halloween 2, H2O are great movies in this timeline, but then it's ruined by this movie and the decisions of the reality show and all that. Like, it's more of like a movie that worked as a horror movie, a killer in the house and all that kind of stuff. But because they put the Halloween name on it, it's ruined the movie, and it's ruined what could have been a good separate horror movie there. But because they put the name Halloween on it, it's just completely ruined the movie, and it's completely ruined this timeline for me. Like, just some of the decision makings, the kung fu for me, and the balls. Let me know, because I know there is, like, every single movie, whether I hate it or I love it, there's split opinions on it. And if you've liked this movie, let me know down in the comment section what you enjoyed most about it. If you hated it, let me know down also in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, like button, hit that notification bell. Plenty of horror type reviews coming out, Black Adam review coming out, so keep an eye out on the channel there. But again, thank you so much for watching, thank you so much for listening. This is Mike here Reviews. Peace.